Oh, look, and we're live. Oh, no, we have a new screen now. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Cauldron with me, Buffy, and my co-host, this, with the most, this, my brother from another mother, my WT, my Wonder Twin in the Witness Protection Program. It looks like he's, the one you don't want to see, but he wants to tell his story. Jim Spillin, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, Buffy. I have to cover my voice and protect my identity now. I'm being hunted. I can't tell you who's hunting because I don't know who's hunting me either. So it's going to be a scary show. So if I can get myself, where am I? Damn it! Come on! Oh, there I am. Hello.
There you go. Oh, we see you. We see
I'm
you.
out of the protection program.
You've got this.
I got something bizarre going on behind me. Oh, what the hell that shit is?
Yeah, it's some kind of hand and moon and all kinds of bizarreness going on behind you.
Back in witness protection.
Goodness. Back in the witness. He will be in and out of the witness protection program this evening, everyone. We're just letting you know.
I'm trying to get myself here. Woo-hoo.
Come on. Trying to get himself situated.
My problem is I'm limited where I'm at to plug in anywhere or stay or set up so I can use the tables right. Otherwise, well, yeah, I don't want to. I don't know. Wait, you know what? Hang on a second. Let me try something.
Hang on. And he's coming out of the witness protection program. When people ever close your eyes. Everyone, close your eyes. Oh, my goodness.
Let's try this shit. Something's got to work.
Listen, it was me that was horrible last week. Now it's this. We're just, I don't know what we're doing at this point anymore.
Nobody knows what we're doing.
You know what? I wish I knew what I was doing. I don't know. Oh, look. Okay. Now we have tables and chairs.
Right.
And now yay! We can see you now.
Now I got something grabbing at my back.
Phillies hat on. You go, bro, with your Phillies hat on. Much better.
Well, we got 1:30.
I can actually see you now.
There we go. How you doing, buddies? So, Buff's frozen. Well, come on, Buff. Wait a minute, am I frozen? No. Buffy's frozen again. All right, guys.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna be a tough night, I think, with the
in a minute.
Freezing and
it's gonna be a tough night. Yep. With the freezing and the unfreezings of all kinds of everything's. I can see myself moving now on Facebook. In case everybody doesn't know, I have Facebook is on. And I have it on beside me because I want to be able to see the chat in case somebody has something to say. So you may see me looking off to the corner of the screen here, but it's actually me just looking at the comments and the chat. So how you been, bro?
Been good. We got back, just relaxing. Taking care of the woofer and the kitty cat for a week while my daughter and her husband are away. So, but other than that, everything's status quo, moving right along. Dalton bought himself a surfboard, so he's surfing now and bringing team. He's going there on weekends. But and I think I don't know
who brought himself a surfboard.
Dalton. Good Lord, dog, what you doing? Oh, you're playing with the cat.
Oh.
We got a dog cat fight going on here. So yeah, there you go. You two go calm down now. Damn you. My time. Calm down.
It's Grandpa's time. Lucy just jumped into the chat. Hey, Lucy.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I can't see it, but maybe you can see if she's in there. What's up, Lou? She's all happy now because she gets the house all to herself. She kicked me out.
Oh.
I
You
expect a slide
know,
comment coming through.
she hasn't yet. She just said hi, Tim. That's all. Okay.
Ah,
Hit the waves, Dalton. And how many times has Dalton sand brushed his chest?
oh yeah.
You know,
Get dropped right on that kitty litter and
with
tears
that.
you all
Oh
up.
God. She just
See?
made the comment, hi. I get the bed to myself. Woohoo!
Yeah. Yeah, she don't miss me.
Ow.
What's going on?
Stop. She does too. She does too. Leave her alone.
I do. She's a
She
great wife.
secretly misses.
She takes real good care of me.
I see. And you know what? I say this to Lucy every time I say her. Hey Dave. Dave Cummings has just jumped into the chat.
Hey, what's up,
I
Dave?
say
Come
this
on.
every time. When I see Lucy all the time, is like, how do you do it? You deserve a medal dealing with your husband. You deserve more than one medal. A medal and a cookie is what she deserves every now and again.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh,
So
I'll absolutely say that.
I just love Lucy to death. She agreed. What's the comment she made? Agreed. Oh
Agreed.
boy. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed your vacation though.
Yeah.
She'll miss you like a toothache. Tim said she's gonna miss you like a toothache.
Like a tooth. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, well, Dave asked how you were doing.
Doing well, Dave. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. I've seen your post out there. I see you're doing popping in there in and out every once in a while. That's good.
Yes. Yes. So
Oh,
now that
Lord.
we're back on, I hope I'm not too choppy and not being Max Headroomy.
No, you're doing pretty good right now.
Tonight. I try. Let's keep the fingers crossed. Okay, fingers crossed right here. That we stay that way. Eyelashes crossed. Everybody needs to cross all their fingers and toes and making sure that I don't look like Max Head. I don't look like Max Headroom tonight. Oh God.
So far you had the Max Headroom at bay.
I'm glad to hear that. Knocking on the wood, of course. Speaking of which, hi Amazon Pharmacy. Oh yeah, no, Amazon Pharmacy, go away. No, that's not what I wanted. Okay. So we had we're gonna kind of combine two topics tonight.
Okay.
Kind of kill two birds with one stone. We had a request from someone that had the question, and it's a very good question. And I'm surprised that more paranormal investigators have not answered this question. The one question is, can a ghost actually haunt another ghost? Is that possible? Hey, Desiree. Desiree jumped in the chat.
Hey, Desiree.
And the second part of our conversation tonight will be on them damn fairy holes.
Yeah, right.
I don't need to be Hansel and Greteling it with you down some fairy holes. No. We're not going to be Hansel and Greteling it. Can you see me and Lucy? This is going to be me and Lucy at the beginning of a fairy hole going, but bro, we brought Cheez-Its and I got goldfish. Come on out. I mean, they're your favorite, aren't they? Come on. You love Cheez-Its. So, come on. It's
the originals.
Yeah. Listen, Tim said, "Oh shit, fairy holes." I'm in a little pain. Fell through the floor last week thanks to a broken pipe. Yeah, Dave. I would like to take Dave and wrap him in some bubble wrap and caution
Uh-oh.
tape. Every time I turn around, this man's hurting him damn self. Uh, Apparently there was a pipe that broke or something under his where he's living, and he was walking across the floor and he fell through the hole,
Oh,
like
shite.
fell through the floor. Yeah. So yeah, but he's
Is
on the mend. He says
he
so.
okay?
Yep. Yeah. He says he's sore, but he's healing. So
Okay.
we're my goodness. I just
He's
can't,
pretty strong.
I'm supposed to be the clumsy one out of the entire group. This is ridiculous. So the second part of our conversation is going to be about them damn fairy holes. And I want to be very succinct about fairies and pixies and the myth around fairies. This was a question, or this was raised by Rachel Zuckus, who was in our chat when Jen and I were on Monday, and we were talking about Ghost Lake in New Jersey, which is a place that I would be interested in going. Hey, Teresa, which would be a place to go, and investigate would be Ghost Lake. And she talked about having fairy holes, and then Rachel was like, "Oh, tell Jim about them fairies." Yep. Can't be talking about fairies. So
Uh-oh.
this was a question that Teresa had. The very first question was, "Can a ghost possible?" So I want to get your. We want to jump into that. Teresa
Okay.
said hi.
Hi, Teresa.
We want to jump into that and figure out what your feelings are on ghosts haunting actual other ghosts.
So it's actually a pretty cool topic when you research it. And like you said, a lot of the paranormal investigators, nobody talks about it. Nobody's ever brought it up before. Nobody's said like, we had this problem. But if you recall some cases that we've always had like that one spirit there that's a good spirit that wants to help the family. It's like the governing grandma trying to protect everybody in the house from the evil spirit. So my answer in short is I believe yes. I have no documentation on it. I have nothing more than what we've done in our cases. And again, when it comes to clarifying or saying something has occurred or is legitimate in this type of area, this realm, it's tough because, like I always say, we don't have Casper in the basement, so I can't take Casper and go find another ghost and put them in the same room and see if they have a problem or anything. But I'm going to put out there and say yes. I think another ghost can haunt another ghost, and I think that might be some. Now, with that question posed, I think that might be some of the reasons why we have some problems in cases. Now, most of the cases that we've ever done are of a more dangerous side. And there is a protective spirit there, but we've never heard anybody say, "Oh, but this spirit's helping us," or "This spirit has been told that it's being bothered by the evil spirit or the bad spirit in the house." They all seem to be guardians. They don't.
Right.
They never want to leave. The good one never wants to leave. It's always like, "I want this bad one out." And we had that one case in Pennsylvania, remember, where we had to take our shoes off, and just the good ghost was up in the bedroom in the crib with the infant, and I had seen that dark cloud. So I think yes, because if we one thing I think we can all agree across the board, no matter your level of paranormal or anything like that, is you are what you are in this life and what you will be in the next life. So if you were a mugger in the last life and you've got another person or a ghost you can chase down or get a chance at, I think, yeah, I believe that you have a ghost can be haunted by another ghost, and they're the ghost that's being haunted. I don't necessarily think it sees itself as being haunted, other than it's more of a protector for the family that we're trying to help. Or people go in and investigate. They're trying to say, "Hey, look, we've got you. We're gonna try and take care of things." And that spirit never ever wants to leave. It's always like, "Can I stay?" And then we're always like, well, just remember, this could double back on you. And the other thing too is you don't know what you're inviting to stay. It might present itself as good and might say, let's bend this curve even a little bit more. Let's say that this is presenting itself as a good spirit and it needs help with this family because this bugger is bothering me and the family. How do we know it's not one trying to take over that family for itself? That's one other issue I would have on thinking of it. But yeah, I think two spirits, because look, here in real life, we can always haunt each other. We always pick on, people pick on other people and drive people nuts. So why can't it happen in the ghost realm? So yeah, I don't think that. I just though makes me question: So they must realize that they've passed. So they've got to accept that they've passed, and they're in the ghost realm.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, for everything it's not written out there by it, and for people not talking about it. It's a great question. It's been, like you said, it's been a long, nobody's ever posed it. So how can you think about it until, it gets questioned. So, and who brought that one up?
Teresa.
Yeah. So that's a
great while back.
That's a great topic. How did he get by? Now I'm giving Teresa all the credit for it, but I'm just saying, how did, when you and I have always talked, like, what are we going to talk about? What's that? What can we think about? And we've never thought about this. We've always thought about like the spirits that attack a family or haunt a family, and it's like we're like, hey, well, we're supposed to come up with topics, and daggone Devin Abbott, that rabbit hole was closed when I went down there.
I just think I don't know why we didn't come up with that question or ever that topic. And once Teresa brought it for, and Teresa's always been a great why child. Everything's why, and that's great when it comes to the paranormal.
Oh yeah,
because it's always questioning yourself or questioning the rules of science. Dave Wilkie posts the question: if Ghost 1 haunts Ghost 2, then Ghost 2, then wait a minute. If Ghost 1 haunts Ghost 2, then dies, Ghost 2, does Ghost 2 haunt Ghost 1 back? No. Well, here's the thing: you can't really kill a ghost because they're already dead. That's number one. Okay. Teresa did. Teresa, I apologize. It's been a while back, and let's just be honest. Let's call a spade. These past couple months have not been good for me. So I have been, in my own little Max Headroom here, space. So, yeah. We've done cases where the negative would manipulate the positive, according to Tim.
Well,
no, he said it does. He felt wrong.
Does he what?
So wait a minute. If Ghost 1 haunts Ghost 2, okay. So he misspelled a word. He didn't mean to put dies. He meant put does. If Ghost 1 haunts Ghost 2, then does Ghost 2 haunt Ghost 1 back? So is it this battle, this epic battle of haunting each other back and forth? Is that a possible thing? And I'm going to say yes.
So
that anything is possible.
So what we're giving then is a ghost or a specter, whatever we want to call it, gets eternal life. Their energy can't run out.
Yeah. Well, it can be only transformed. As if we go by Einstein's theory of energy cannot be created nor can it be destroyed. It can only be transformed into something else. So they can't die. I mean, technically that would be the reason why we all believe that we go to heaven or we, go to hell, or there's something other than this plane of existence, because when we drop the meat suit, when this decays, right? We have energy. We have an energy force in our body. right?
Right.
Along
That's
with an
me.
energy force that goes outside. That energy force inside is an electrical current that keeps your brain, your heart pumping, and all that good stuff.
Right.
When we drop the meat suit, that energy has to go somewhere. And where it goes, I guess, is dependent on the body, like, or the person that it used to inhabit. See what I'm saying?
Yes. I understand what you're saying, but I don't know. I've never really thought about that until this question came up. But I guess so. Do you remain a ghost, or is your energy transported elsewhere and pushed into, let's say, reincarnation on somebody? Now your ghost gone, so ghost one
Yeah.
can't haunt ghost two because ghost one in
Mhm.
Dave's scenario has been moved on to, say, a new
Right.
physical body. But I'm also saying or questioning,
Mhm.
a ghost just lives forever. Just I understand Einstein a little bit that I know. I understand
Mhm.
that, but
Mhm.
so energy can never be dissolved or dismissed. I don't know what you want to use for it in this context, but um, like
Mhm.
when we move a spirit on, like we've done some where
Mhm.
you move some children on, their energy goes
Mhm.
and it's gone, but does it live, forever? I don't know. I saw that a while ago, and I meant to research a little bit to see what the people were
Mhm.
talking about it. But I did see there was a site out that I found that said, does a ghost live forever? And I guess it comes down to, if Einstein's theory holds true, does it hold true? Period. End of discussion. It's just going to continue because
Mhm.
right now we ourselves, as we sit here in these vessels, we're
Mhm.
believing that our spirit won't die, that we're going to move on, that we're going to go to
Yeah.
another plane. But what's that plane? Is it a
Right.
spectrum? Is it, like I always said, sometimes I wonder if childbirth isn't a reincarnation moment because I'm sure that child's coming in through the light and
Mhm.
coming into the birth. So is that a reincarnation moment? Are we all going to, oh man, don't take this weird, but are we all going to shoot down that tunnel at birth and be reincarnated on the other side? So,
I
you know, I don't know.
we don't know. Nobody's ever come back and said, "Oh my god, it's like being birthed all over again." Oh my god. Um, eh, Desiree said, "When the energy runs out, do they reincarnate back to this to store the energy?" You have to understand, and this, maybe it's because it's coming from my perspective that
Okay.
it seems so easy to kind of like explain in a way. Now you know that I'm given permission when I take spirit, I harbor it over to the other side, to another plane of existence,
Right.
to never be in this realm again. I can tell you that they are given options. They stay a condensed energy field, and those that they're given lessons. It's almost like a way station kind of thing for me. You have family members that come back to collect that person, okay?
Right.
But you also have they were part of the collective. Their job is to just tell spirit that it's okay, that not to be afraid. So, with that being said, there's lessons to learn on the other side about that side or about that plane of existence.
Hmm.
So they go to kind of like they I don't want people to get misconstrued and think that there is not punishment.
You locked up there. There's not what?
Over there. There is. A person who dies. Okay. Say the person was a mass murderer. Okay, a serial killer. All right. They die. There is an exactment of punishment that is given by these light beings and something called the collective. With that being said, their punishment is that they are made to feel every bit that they caused that victim and their family all at the same time. So they've learned their lesson. See what this does? This is what this family is feeling now. This is the road of destruction that you left behind. Also, given the alternated or become part of the collective, their energy doesn't die. It's just burst into this flowing, moving collective energy force that is absolutely, to me, now speaking from my experience, beautiful and the most joyful, amazing, colorful, vibrant, peaceful thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's hard to describe, okay? The catch here, though, is if they choose to reincarnate, they are not given the option as to what they are going to reincarnate as. That is up to the collective. And sometimes if they think that the collective thinks that the soul has not learned its lesson, it may come back as a victim. So think about that. SA victims, DV victims, or DV perpetrator. That is every day until the collective thinks it's time for them to go again. Now, have you learned your lesson? You know what I mean? It's an exactment of punishment. It's not, I would say, it's not hell. It's a form of punishment. Let's just put it that way. And you're right. We've been on cases where, like that one case in PA where we had to take our shoes off, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we demonic entity in that house. But we also found a governess, like a nanny, staying in the youngest, who was 2 at the time, I think, in their room. And she protecting. She was keeping there was in the house away from the baby.
Right.
And I felt nothing malicious from her ever. She was very quiet. She was peaceful. And that was her job. She just loved watching over the baby. That was her job. That's what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we gave the option to the family at the time, was that, I could cross over the nanny.
Right.
If you want me to. But here's the thing. Do understand that she is a spirit. keeping her here and not letting her fulfill her journey, pardon me, is somewhat punishment for her. But if she chooses to stay, you have to give her ground rules. You're not allowed to leave the nursery in the middle of the night. You're not allowed to wake the baby up in the middle of the night to play with the baby. There's rules. There's ground rules that have to be followed. You know, I always say that it's unfair to keep a spirit, even if it's one of your family members that
Right.
you love. Sometimes it's unfair. But that's up to the family to decide what they want to do. If the spirit is comfortable staying there and does not have a problem, so be it. I work for both sides of the fence. I want to say, and I'm going to be short about this. When we talk about ghosts haunting ghosts, we have to understand that ghosts do not follow any written form of science. To be totally honest, it doesn't fall within the parameters of even some forms of parapsychology. So, can they? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
They can pester another ghost. If you think of more than one ghost living in one dimension, right? Or in your house, you got more than one ghost living in the house. Depending on the time frame that they died, where they died, how they died, if they died within the same century, right? You may have levels where those spirits, say you have a spirit that died in the 1700s, then you got a spirit that died in the 1800s, then you got your grandma who died in 1965.
Okay.
There are factors that state that it's possible that these people or these spirits never see each other, because to them it's still the 1700s. So the grandma that was born in, I don't know, 1900 doesn't see the person from the 1700s. We had a case like that before. David and I did a case in Old Newcastle like that. Remember when I said we had layers?
Right.
They have layers of haunting where they never meet. They never actually meet. Because you had different time frames. Hey, Joanne, you had different time frames. Is it possible for a ghost to pester another ghost? Absolutely. If they see each other,
Well,
I'm
then
sure
what
that ghosts get on other ghosts' nerves, like
right.
hanging around.
But let's stay with what you're saying. You're saying there's a spirit it dies in 1700. One dies in 1800. One dies in the 1900s. So basically, what you're saying then is the spirits would all have to be in the same time frame for death to be able to haunt each other. Other than that, so one in the 1700s is getting haunted by one from the 1800s, or vice versa. So they call it. So I see when the ghosts come, we're using that term loosely tonight, but when you become a ghost or the ghosts come, I see everybody out there on the same plane, same type of atmosphere or whatever. I mean, they're out there running into each other or something, maybe like parallel universes. Maybe they could be like that, but so the spirit that we say we chased on, say that one died. The good ones died in the 1600s, but there's one in the 1700s that passed on that was mischievous and evil and cling to a family. So then a ghost, what you're describing, if I'm right, then you would say a ghost can be haunted by another ghost and not even see or know where that ghost is coming from, and kind of uses, let's say, the family we're helping to help it get rid of the main, because it's also pestering the 1700 ghost. Woo! Natalie did it.
Yes.
Hey, get down.
He got it.
Paul.
He got it. He got it. He got it. I thought I saw your brain start to leak out of your ear and you were getting so frustrated. It was like, oh my God, I saw his face getting so frustrated. And it was like, wait a minute, what did I walk into? When oh my gosh, the Twilight Zone. Do 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 do.
Take your couch.
You actually did it.
You
got it.
But yeah, so then
Stop.
But so then the bad ghost can haunt a ghost and a family at the same time. Because in reality, that's how we would get called. Because another ghost, a ghost being haunted, wouldn't know to pick up and dial 1-800-GOT-GHOST.
Absolutely. He's lost his ever loving mind. Look at his face. Look at the face.
It's a mind-bending topic.
That is the face that I am used to seeing when I try to explain something to him when we're on a case and it has to deal with magic, right?
Right.
And he just do what you got to do. I'm not going to try to understand it now.
Hey, every once in a while it snaps into place and it works.
You know what? I drive sport about the whole thing. He really is. Really, really is. Desiree said something about, I have to go back to the comments because there were so many comments on this.
Oh, good.
Yeah. What?
What's the overall on the comment section? What's everybody saying about it? I mean, is there a consensus that yes,
they are saying that yes, a ghost can consensus says that yes, they can. So Tim Hopper says if he reincarnates, he wants to come back as a millionaire one time.
Not too picky, are we?
He says I thought about coming back as a millionaire. The only problem with that is I wouldn't pay the taxes. Then I would be arrested and sent to the big house, only to be someone's shower buddy. No, thank you. I will stay wolf.
Come on, Tim. You don't want to meet Bubba?
Wow, I can't. Dave Cummings says that he would like the next one to be peaceful and painless.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Jojo walked into the chat. She said hello to everyone. And Tim is right. We have to understand that to a spirit, once you are in the spirit realm, to them, there is no concept of space or time. They don't calculate time. They don't calculate space. They just know that they are there, that they're existing, that this is, and they don't care that it's 3:00 in the morning. They don't realize it's 3:00 in the morning that they're bugging you. Desiree says apparently they don't sleep either. No, they do not sleep. They don't sleep and they don't eat. You don't have a physical body. So why would you need rest? They call it eternal rest to make it sound better. That's my thing. Eternal rest, eternal peace.
You're getting home. There's no eternal rest. You're being haunted and chased down by other ghosts.
Yeah. And Tim said, absolutely no bubbas.
I'm with you, Tim. No bubbas. No.
No bubbas, man. Don't be dropping the soap in the shower, please.
Oh. That calls for an ouch moment.
Terrible. I went there. Yes, I went there. That is an ouch moment. A very ouchy moment. But any hoodles. So I know I made your head explode. But Teresa is known to make people's heads explode all the time.
Yeah, you all have done a good job on me.
There are so many rabbit holes. Snap. Dwayne said snap. LOL. No. But yeah, we have who was it that I think Teresa and I think it was Jackie that initially broke you, or it could have been
Oh,
Teresa that broke you.
Jackie, and Joe, and name escapes me right now. But there's one other one out there that broke me pretty good. The bastards, and I finally healed.
Yes, and now we're back to break you again.
Right?
You've had too long of a respite, bro. I'm sorry.
The brain needed the recovery.
So Desiree says, "What? No one wants a snuggle bunny? A snuggle bunny? No, no one wants a snuggle bunny." Desiree. Okay. So Teresa says this: would the spirit? Okay, we all went to Gettysburg.
Right.
I'm gonna need you to take. I'm gonna need you to take some Pams and some Peens for this one. All the Pams, all the Peens. I'm gonna need you to meditate and just ready. We're gonna this one. Okay. So we've all been to Gettysburg, and we have all toured the orphanage, right? Mm-hmm. We all know what's there. She poses the question: would the spirit of Rosa Carmichael be considered to be haunting the children of the orphanage? Pardon me, or would that be considered just continuing to be a bad person the way she was in life?
I think it's just she. But the question has to go: is she only haunting the children of the? Well, not really. She can't really. I don't know. God, Jack Glee. If Rosa's haunting the children of
the, can't even talk now.
I know. She's putting she's haunting and tormenting children. Going back to what you said earlier of her era. So let's just say, for the sake of numbers, her era is the 1700s. Then she's only haunting kids in the 1700s, and we're dealing with kids from the 1700s. She's not getting anybody new on either side. This is not making sense to me. My brain is just not wrapped right. It's she would be. She's a ghost haunting other ghosts. But when do the children do the children? So when I don't know. That's a tough one because now my brain says, look, these kids will get out of the orphanage. They're not dying in the orphanage. They move on. Do they got to come back when they pass on in later life? Or these? Maybe I misunderstood that part. Did the kids die in the orphanage?
Yes, there were some that actually died in the orphanage.
So the ones who died in the orphanage, yes, they would be haunted. I think they could be haunted by Rosa. It's just an eternal merry-go-round. It's quite sounding bad when you put it that way. Yeah, there's nothing to do for the kids, and they live in an eternal haunt from Rosa. If we go with what we've been saying all night so far about ghost haunting ghosts and the time frames and everything, then yeah, Rosa's haunting children that passed in the reference frame that she had the children.
Correct. So my thing with that is you have all heard me say that there are specific people who are just born bad seeds. Remember what I said?
Yeah.
Born from the moment of conception as a bad person. They do bad things all of their life. Even in death, they are just rotten spirit because they cannot let go. They cannot submit. Let's just put it this way, going to God, to me, or going to the light, going to whatever it is, and having a peaceful death is all about submission. It's all about submitting to the fact that you are dying.
Right.
and just letting go and letting go, understanding that there is another journey that is waiting for you, that this is not the end, right? Uh, this is aside from traumatic deaths. Please don't get that mixed up. This is separate from traumatic deaths.
Mm-hmm.
I do, as many times as I've been in that orphanage, do believe that Rosa Carmichael was a bad seed. An
Mm-hmm.
absolute bad seed. She started out as one. She had the opportunity to not be that and heal as a child, but I think she was born into a situation. Now hear me out. I think she was born into a family that did not, or was absent of love, did not show love.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
I agree.
many times as I've had confrontation with Rosa, that that absence of love was a learned behavior between her family,
Mm-hmm.
the children that she went to school with. I think that she was a verbally abused child from, being taunted or being picked on um for certain things. And I think that just fed her bitterness. Okay. Fed her bitterness. And I think that's why she never really liked children, was because of the way she was treated. All right. Now, bad seed. Here comes the bad seed. Um, that those children that suffered traumatic deaths in that orphanage, the ones that were drowned, the ones that were starved, you know, the ones that I think she poisoned. Can't tell me any different. We've been through this. You saw the lives from 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Um, those are all traumatic deaths. When you are a child and you die from a traumatic death, you're afraid. People are afraid. Adults, even adults are afraid of death. When a traumatic death happens, they either don't know what happened, are so scared that they don't want to go towards the light, that they don't want to move on, don't know that they're dead,
Mm-hmm.
or have something that they have not completed yet before they pass on. They have to get something out. You know that this is what we've talked about multiple times, and we've had multiple cases like this, right? I 100%, 1000% agree that she is keeping Desiree. When you said, when you asked if you thought that she was continuing her cycle of abuse that she was subjected to, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
She is keeping those children there to satisfy her anger, to satisfy her rotten ass behavior. I can't go in that orphanage without crying before I leave. How many of I don't want to be here? They're afraid. They run to me. They run to the people that are there and do the whole. That's why you feel the pulling, the tugging. It's more of like a please help me kind of thing. They are so frightened of her, and yet she gets her rocks off, even in the spirit realm, that they can't escape.
Right.
There's escape. There's escape, however, that would involved me going to the city of Gettysburg, the Historical Society, everyone involved getting permission to take those children away. If I do that,
No,
that orphanage loses money because it no longer is haunted.
right.
So I am caught in a catch 22 situation. The last time we were there when they did the cat ball game, when I did it with Abigail, with Abby, and Tommy and George, they loved playing hide and go seek with the cat balls and the dinging of the bell and using the spirit box. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. It's because they want to be played with. They want to forget. I wish I could take every single one of them home with me. I really do.
Right.
But I can't. I can, but I can't. I'm stuck in a circle of, vicious cycle of, this, that, and the third. You've heard me talk about Teresa, Dave. You've all heard me talk about it. The people that are in not in the chat but listening, the ones that have been with me in Gettysburg, Janice, Justine, Chris, all of them, they've seen it.
Right.
And that's what makes me sad is that I go back there because they call me to go back there. I can't even walk in that visitor center without hearing them calling me across the street. And I'm just so sad because I want to take them all home and love them. They didn't deserve it. And they don't deserve the continued torture that they get in death. Even in death, she haunts them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because she's such a rotten
Well, yeah.
person.
You are.
Product of her environment, absolutely. But I can't condone her as an adult. You know what I mean? You're an adult. You know the difference between right and wrong.
But when you get to that point, do you really? You've been so
good
bad.
Question.
You've been bad for so long. Do you really know when you've crossed the line or when you got to come back? I say no. I said you are in spirit, which you are in your earthly. And if you were just a mean bastard son of a bitch on this plane, when you go over, I just that's me. And now you were saying earlier, like like a serial killer comes out, and did they redeem themselves? Can they go on to a peaceful crossover?
Yeah.
Look, serial killings with the five main guys that got the world into serial killing were all mean sons of bitches. And I don't think that they can shake that. I think that's just so natural in their body. I mean, the horror and the horrifics that they cause them to, I don't see where they can come out and go, yeah, I've learned my ways. I'm going to be okay now. No. I mean, they were just like Rosa, just mean sons of bitches. That's all they know. We all know somebody who's just purely mean, and we all know they're going to be like that on the other side.
Right. And I didn't mean to misconstrue that, though. I didn't mean to say that, oh, they're given what they're just made to feel, the way that they made the victims feel.
Right.
As a form of punishment, not that they're repentant in any way.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to feel I don't think it's going to be like the reverse. So they're not going to feel what they did to that person because they're just such a mean-spirited person to begin with. They're not going to let that check back in. They're going to stay in that mean-spirited. And then are they the ones that go to, HE double hockey sticks? Or are they the ones that sit up in purgatory? Are they the ones that are just like that black cloud we saw at the top of the stairs in that house in Pennsylvania? Or we've seen in other cases. Are they just going to be and redo and relive what they were? Because I like to believe that when we leave this plane, Yeah, we might be
Mhm.
bothered by some things, but I think we're going to be. Look, everybody in the family, in the chat, everybody here is a good spirited person. I think you're going to be that way when you leave this plane and you go to the next parallel universe, or you go to the next crossover, you go to the next reincarnation, whatever's awaiting us. I think you're going to be who you were now, then, or then you'll be that person again. Maybe some highlights or something like that to come along. But if you were just a SOB like Rosa, then I think you're just going to be an SOB because nothing's being fixed. Rosa's not being fixed in any
Mhm.
way whatsoever. The kids are running. They know
Yeah.
it's how torturous is that got to be for the
Mhm.
kids that are Now I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this in any belittling way, but here come the kids are going to say, "Oh, here come visitors." All right, they want to see us tug and pull. Well, we're doing it for real on this side, folks, because this shit down here is bad. You're being entertained by it.
Mhm.
You're trying to see it.
Yeah.
When in fact, maybe the right thing to do is go in there for a cleansing. But then again, you shut down Gettysburg if you go in there for a cleansing. You can't clear the battlefield. You can't clear the
Yeah.
Wade House. You can't
Yep.
clear the orphanage. You can't clear these things because, fortunately, that's where the almighty buck's being made for the people of Gettysburg.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Like you said, I would love nothing more than to clear that orphanage and give
right,
those kids the respite that they are afforded. But I can't because then we shut down Gettysburg.
right.
No more money for Gettysburg.
This is just a plot of land now with a graveyard. Yeah, so it's.
You know,
Yeah, I just think Rosa Parks will live. Rosa Parks. Oh my God, sorry. Um, she'll just live that. I know. Stop.
please, the poor Rosa Parks first spirit is like, don't you ever mix me up with that woman. Good Lord, all I did was sit on a bus.
Oh,
God. Oh,
God damn it, son of a bitch.
oh my goodness.
oh. But yeah, she's just going to be a nasty spirited woman, and you can't move her on to save the kids, and you can't move the kids on to save them from her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, I can't dismiss what you're saying. Um, we have Tim saying, "How do we know that we're not dead and the time we leave this world we are living? How do we know we're not spirit?" My answer to that is I've always said it. We are light beings suffering a human condition. We are all light beings that are suffering a human condition. We were locked in these human cages called bodies. So we are all spirit. It doesn't matter. We're all spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you say that, you're talking about how do we know, we're alive or dead or what's going on? How do we know that this isn't heaven or, whatever's?
Right.
Then you're getting into the matrix things, that then we're getting into another subject of like matrix for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have you finish that.
What? How we're being all spirits or not being spirits? My
Yeah,
whole
how do
thing,
we know that we're not dead
how do
already?
you? I think. Well, I don't want to get into it, but we won't get into it. But I'll talk. I think we're all. Sometimes I think we're just living in a saline solution tube, being monitored by aliens, and we're just watching a movie that's made for each one of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
matrixing.
I mean, tell me that we are not in a movie theater, in our own individual movie theaters, with the
Right.
ability to affect our movie just by our thoughts or what we do or how we act. You
Mm-hmm.
choose the path of kindness or you choose the path of being an asshole. That's how your movie goes. We could be on that next plane already. We could
Yeah.
be slipping in and out of parallel universes as we're sitting here right now talking. we're over here right now for an hour, hour and a
Mhm.
half, giving out thoughts and opinions, and talking to our folks in the chat. And who knows, at the end, we don't slip back over
Mhm.
to our parallel universe that we left to come over here for a little bit. So the universe doesn't
Yeah.
run straight. It's not a straight line. It's a wavy line, and every once in a while, you run into a bump in the road, and you go right into that next parallel for whatever reason. Are they the
Yep.
time travelers that you see in the
Yep.
1970s? Guy on a cell phone. Back in the Charlie Chaplin days, a woman walking behind the
Right.
TV set on a cell phone. Are they time travelers? Are we traveling
Yeah.
time? I don't know. It's a very perplexing kind of thought process that we go through. That like folks like you and me and Luce and the people in the family in the chat,
Mhm.
we you don't grovel with it every day. You don't try to like say, oh well, what the hell's going on, or no, you just live your day. But are you really living your day when we talk about spirits and passing on and the afterlife? And
Mhm.
then
Right.
being, like you said, like sudden death. How do we know none of us have experienced that? Because they say you don't remember, you don't get locked in. It's just like all of a sudden all this new stuff. It's like, okay, is that where
Oh,
deja
yeah.
vu comes? Is that where deja vu comes in? It says you've been like, I've been here before. Is that because you're coming from the parallel universe?
Mhm.
So it's just
Yeah.
there's all kinds of ways you can go
I
with it.
I
Think about
totally
it.
agree. Oh,
What?
I disappeared. Hold on for a second.
Oh shite! I can still see you, but you're frozen. If you can hear me. Uh oh. You got some pixeling going on.
No, I'm here. I'm here. My For some reason my settings just showed up and my whole screen disappeared for a minute. It's like, oh, okay.
Right.
Apparently, Spirit doesn't want us to talk about tonight.
Apparently
We're
not.
getting on sore subjects. Um, but I agree with you there. You don't know. We don't know. There are so many theories to this being a matrix. Or how do we know that we haven't already died and this is just another y- level or another um whatever, another dimension of some sort.
Right.
We don't. And Desiree Desiree asked me again, why can't the children be freed? You have to understand when you deal with historical spots like that, Desiree, that we are under the laws of the historical societies and the state itself and the city of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. I can't lawfully willfully go in there and just release all the kids and then be like, okay, you know what? Up, Getty that, and next week we find out that the Gettysburg orphanage has closed down because of lack of fundage because nobody's going to buy tickets to go see, haunted this or ghost that or whatever's. I can't do that. I would have to be in agreement and they would have to sign a contract and we would all have to be copacetic about this whole thing and under
Right.
the same understanding. So that's where I am with that. Um, if you were to come out and start a good journey, I believe the spirit within them are following path that was blazed by many. That's a good quote, Tim. Um, Teresa said we are all spirit at all times. We're just here living a physical life to learn lessons. True. I agree with
Mhm.
that. Um, some light spirits have no light, according to Tim. Don't call them that. They're extraterrestrials. Yeah, they don't like to be called aliens. Please don't call them aliens. Please don't. Desiree learned from when I channeled up at Ringtown. They do not like to be called aliens. Please, for the love of all that's good and holy, when you are referring to extraterrestrials or those boop 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 up there, please do not call them aliens. they're extraterrestrials. Oh, and look, we lost Jim. I'm just hanging out here by myself. Jimsifer, come back. We're in a simulation guided by our higher selves. That is very possible. Is it possible to get a cheat sheet so I have an idea of the lessons I'm supposed to be learning? Absolutely not. There would not be any lessons. Rachel came into the chat. Hey, Rachel. I don't know where bro went. He disappeared. Bro, come back. I'm gonna text him real quick. Come back. For those of you who have not been on this show or not seen our show, this happens a lot. This happens when Spirit doesn't want us to talk about certain situations. They'll kick one of us off. And then we're stuck. So hopefully we're gonna wait for Jim, to come back. And I guess Timbo will give me the heads up whether he's come back or not. Rachel said Mandela effect. That is very, very possible, Rachel, that it is a part of a Mandela effect. Desiree says, true, I understand that, but it's not fair to the spirit. Now you see why I am stuck between a catch-22 kind of thing when I'm there, because I want the children to be happy. But again, hey, he's back. Hey, bro. He's back.
It did something goofy, and I did so.
All right, I'm back.
Good? Okay, he's good now.
I'm in cyber hell. I've been released from cyber prison.
Our friend Rachel Zuckus from Save the Stray Skookles is on with us.
Oh, nice.
She joined with that. She said it was a Mandela effect. That is very possible. Tim said he had to go find you.
To find me?
Yes. Very, very unfair, and you're right. It's not fair, Desiree, to those kids. It is not. You are torn between a city who is trying to educate people about what happened in that city, but you're also dealing with having to make money on the side of that. That is why each and every time before I leave, I promise the children that I'll come back. That they have something, at least something to look forward to, I guess. I don't know. They seem that, they like us when we're there.
Right.
And I guess it's important to them to see the same face.
Yeah, I think it's a good point that you make too, that they're trying to teach history, and unfortunately history is painful. History has a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And you got to teach it. But the money part, I think what I like about Gettysburg is, look, they got to make the money to keep the place up and running. They got to make the money for maintenance. So they got to have some shows, I'll say.
Right.
But they do it right. They do it properly. So they're not really insulting anybody or hurting anybody. It's just the mere fact it's history. And what Rosa did in the orphanage is history that needs to be taught, or it's like you said, we're not learning it right now, but people don't need to understand it. History repeats itself. And if you're not educated on the first go-round, it's going to sting again on the second go-round. So I am happy that Gettysburg does what they do and brings in people that they bring in. And the times that I've been there, I've never found anybody that's been so disrespectful or even disrespectful. And they understand the history and they're okay with the history. They're learning about it. So to me, it's all good on how they're doing it. And I'm happy they're doing it.
Right.
They're doing it the best way they possibly can and still trying to bring in the money that they need to maintain it so the history can still be taught and presented.
Correct. I 100% agree with you, bro. We, you guys have all heard Jim and I, and even Gina, when Gina was on a couple of times. Hey, Jay White's on.
Hey.
Talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, and the indifferent. If you are going to teach history correctly, you need to teach all of it.
Yes.
Do not cherry pick. History was not always good.
No.
It wasn't always great. It is time for people to take off the rose-colored glasses and understand that our country was built on a lot of pain. A lot of suffering. But tenacity was learned by that.
Mm-hmm.
There was gumption that was made. There was conviction, and people survived just despite everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That said they couldn't, and that's what this country is built on. And getting through the tough times and learning something, and learning not to do it again. Unfortunately, as we all learn, history repeats itself.
Right.
If you don't learn a lesson, you damn to repeat it again and again and again until you get it through your damn thick skull.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Bottom line.
Right.
So I think we've admitted that because ghosts do not live under any rules or guidelines of scientific fact, that a ghost can actually haunt another ghost.
I think so.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement with that.
Yeah, that was a good question. That was a really good question.
Yeah, that was an excellent question. I've been holding on to that because I've just been with things.
Simple one, but very good.
But very good. Who knew that we could fill a whole hour and 14 minutes with kind of ghost haunt an actual ghost?
Right?
I didn't think we could do it. On to the next subject. Rachel, I know you're in the chat, honey, and we're going to talk about them damn fairy holes. Fairy holes.
Fairy holes, mounds.
Yes. So let's first start off with fairies are different than pixies. Fairies are not Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell is a pixie. Not to be confused with a fairy.
Right.
Fairies, in some essence, are more human-like than pixies. Some do not have the pointed ears and fly around with wings. They vary in shapes and sizes. Their clothes are more defined than pixies. Pixies are the hood version of fairies. They're the ones that got an attitude. They about an inch tall, and they just get their clothes with whatever they can find to wrap around their bare behinds and not be exposing themselves. So I'm going to take this over to you, and let's all remind ourselves that fairies are not cute. They're not fun. They do not grant wishes. Then a great majority of them have attitudes that are way bigger than their bodies, and they are mischievous and spiteful. On to you, Jim.
Oh boy! So fairies and mounds and holes are deep and primarily in Irish tradition. They're also in the German tradition, but primarily you're going to find these mounds, holes in Ireland. They go back, they think, as far back as 1,000 years BC. And they were initially, so the mounds, let's start with the mounds. The mounds were initially what were perceived to be coverage for people on the land to protect their pastures and everything, almost like a roof over their property. and they don't, like you said, Buff. They weren't started off as pretty. Wings and everything on fairies that came later on with tradition and folklore and the stories that you would get by your grandmom in the fireplace, sitting there on a nice Irish night with a nice cup in your hand of tea or something like that, and listening to stories about the fairies. There was also some thought that they were demoted angels or demons. And fairy mounds are well respected in Ireland, as to where they'll move car projects. There was like a $1 million car project being done in Ireland that was going to run into fairies, and they said nope. And I think it was in County Dare, where this road project was, and they said nope. And they put the road around the fairy mounds. Now they're not prevalent when you see these. Like a hole, you could look at say like your garden.
I'm gonna go get water.
You can look at your garden.
I'm getting water.
Yeah, get that H2O. Stay hydrated. Don't get dehydrated on us. So in your gardens, you could see like little not gaping holes, but like a little hole in your garden between some stone. It can be a vertical or it can be a horizontal hole that's presented in your garden. And they're best just left alone. You don't want to do stick prodding into them, because they're almost like the gin. They just don't really like being prodded and poked in their little in their mounds or in their holes. And they will wreak havoc on you. Legend has it, like you can lose your crops. People of Ireland will not desecrate or even challenge a mound or a hole. They'll actually build around it, and they're not as prevalent. So you're not going to really see, okay, I got to find power somewhere. I'm going to lose my Mac.
Oh no!
I'm in a perplexing situation here because I have limited power outlets. But anywho, how much battery I got left? Let me shoot it to you, Buff, for a few minutes. Let me find some power source.
Okay, so we're taking turns. Boy, this is a night where I wish my faucets gave out vodka, because I feel like I need it. I feel like I need it.
I'm okay. This might be a quicker fix than I thought.
Okay. Talks amongst yourselves. He's feeling a little verklempt.
I think we're okay. Yeah, just as long as I don't have a grand wolfer go flying and tripping over the cord I got going through the middle of the room here. Well, anyway, okay.
Well, it depends on how big
progress maintained. But the fairy mounds and everything will be low key. It's not like you got a flag on it saying, "Hey, here's a fairy mound." They could have nice floral. You might find a little stone wall that's built around them, and they will maintain and they will take care of the land. So that's what the fairy mound will do. It's as long as the homeowner recognizes the mound and doesn't desecrate it or try and move it or say to heck with it. I mean, there is some documentation that people have lost their crops, gone broke because they messed with the fairy mound.
Right.
So, like I said, getting back to the fairies themselves, they're not winged creatures. I would almost put them in the same category as a djinn, because they can be very vengeful if you don't behave yourself around this mound.
Correct.
And like I said, the holes aren't gate. When we say fairy hole, we don't mean this big, 2-foot wide opening or anything. It could be an inch gap or something like that. And like I said earlier, it's like they could be vertical or horizontal.
Yeah.
And you see them in your garden, just leave it alone. Just let it be. Let it lie right there, and you will have a fine garden. You'll have stuff will bloom and blossom and grow. There's even one guy that actually he was trying to. The thing I couldn't find out what he found or prove or disprove. He left himself in a fairy mound for like 101 hours straight. Guy by the last name of Hayes. I think it was Thomas Hayes. And then
Okay.
he did it a second. He did it a second time and stayed in there for 200 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Now he never reported coming out saying, and I went all over the place. I didn't find it, but never found a spot where he said,
I survived the
"Yep,
Fairy Mound.
right." I'm able to say that I found these sounds or anything. To me, that would be disturbing the fairy mound or the fairy hole, and he should
Right.
have lost. But he never reported losing anything. He never reported having a problem.
Right.
So
Right.
it's Irish too. I mean, nobody's more full of gobshite than the Irish, and
Except for the Scottish. I'm just saying.
except for who?
The Scottish.
Yeah, the Scott. Well, you're right there with us. We're both
right here. We're neighbors, so we spread the gobshite just as much as they do. I mean,
gobshite is just as bad. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Yep. So that is correct. I mean, they are not friendly. They're very mischievous. Question. I read about some random mushrooms growing and how comes from fairies. Is that true? Yes, they call it a fairy ring. If you see a bunch of toadstools in a circle, either in the forest or in your yard, the legend goes that you're not supposed to step in it. Please do not step in it. Go around it because that is where the fairies live, in the little fairy ring or mounds. Sometimes they will call them fairy mounds. They are not innocent. They do not grant wishes. Please do not, think that everything is going to be great and honky dory. Oh, look, fairies! I do believe in fairies. No, Disney did that. And they mixed up pixies and fairies all together and just lumped them all into one gigantic shite pile. Said, yep, fairies are the same as pixies. No, they're not. Tinkerbell was a pixie. She was not a fairy. She was a pixie. That's where we get pixie dust from, okay? if you have a garden, this is what I did with my kids, all right? Because I wanted them to remember their Irish, Scottish heritage, because I am Irish as well, to kind of have them kind of learn a little bit about it. We planted a fairy tree in our garden because we kind of saw the tomatoes were not coming up right and they're rotting before they were turning red and all this other stuff. So I took a tip from my nanny Kate and I went and I made a fairy tree. Fairy trees are very easy to make with wire hangers. You just bend them and twist them around and make it look like a tree with little hooks for the limbs, and then you stick it in the ground. You do not stick it in your garden. You stick it at the other end of the yard, right? Okay. Little trinkets, little shiny stuff with ribbon, like little tiny rings, candy, things that are sweet, and say, listen, I know that there could possibly be fairies. This is a thing to do, even if you have a fairy ring in your yard. If you find a fairy ring in your garden, same thing. The toadstools. Put the fairy tree at the other end of the yard and say, listen, I don't want no problems from you. I noticed my garden hasn't been growing right, and I want to make a peace offering. This right here is for you. I'm putting it over here. You can have all the sweets, treats, shiny things, all you want. Right there at the other end of the yard. Please just leave my garden alone. Okay? You will find sometimes that when you do that, the fairies will leave you gifts like ravens do or like crows do. If you feed crows, sometimes they'll give you a little gift of some sort. Do not, under any circumstances, accept that gift. No. No, we're not doing that because that will bring tricks. That just means that you are submitting to the fairies and kind of pretty much allowing them to do whatever mischievous to you. Can they come in your home? Absolutely. Do not offer them to come in your home. They will wreck your goddamn house quicker than a cyclone. No. Do not offer them to come into your home. Please don't do that. Be very wary. If they give you a gift, it's a trap. Correct, Rachel. It's a trap. Give it back. Put it back in the garden and just say, listen, I'm very humbled that you want to give me a gift. However, it would be rude for me to accept this. I'm not accepting this. Thank you ever so much anyway. Back in the garden. And you know what? Nothing like that to happen. Are there witches that deal with the fae? Abso-freaking-lutely. We've had one on the show before. Kathy Klimzak, who is a very dear friend of mine who I met at Fort Mifflin that did tarot card readings with me. Mm-hmm. She has a connection with the fae. She has a fae garden in her yard, on one side of her yard, just for the fae. The fae talk to her. Can you gain a relationship? Yes. But it is very rare that they will kind of agree to have a witch as a friend or work with a witch. Very rare. I don't know how she does it. I don't want to know how she does it. I think it's neat. I think it's great. I think it's dandy. Kathy, I love you. If you're watching this, I love you to death, girl. And keep your fairies over there. Okay, just keep them over there. I love the fact that you like the fairies and you bring them tea and drinks and cakes and all that good stuff, and they help your garden. By the way, she's got a fabulous garden. You should see some of the pictures of her backyard. It looks like an Amazonian jungle with all the flowers and the colors. It's due to the fairies. She has a special connection with the fae. It is very rare that a human would have a connection with the fae, and there would be that communication or that friendship, that kindred shipness. This girl wishes vodka came out of this faucet. Shipness apparently is the word I want to use today. It's a word I don't care. It's a word I made up right now. Okay. Do not mistake their kindness for something like that. They can be wicked. They can be evil. They can get into your home. We did a case where we had black fairies, remember?
Mm-hmm.
In that house with the cat that was pregnant?
Yep.
In Pennsylvania? Yeah, she had black fairies in her house. Black fairies are the evilest of the evil kind. They do not have a good streak in their body at all. Their entire makeup is to make mischief and make your life miserable. This is what happens when you invite just any willy-nilly fairy into your home. They multiply. They bring friends. And they have keggers in your house while you're asleep. That is when you will come downstairs and you will find that all of your kitchen cabinets are open. Shit has been spilled out of your refrigerator. Your cabinets, your keys are missing. You have 18 pairs of shoes, but only have the left shoe. All 18 pairs. Where'd they go? They were here last night. I don't know. They can bring ill fortune to you and illness if you let it go. Cat was pregnant with blackberries. What the hell did you just say? He got lost. He thought I said that this woman's cat was pregnant with blackberries.
Oh, blackberries. The hell?
Black fairies. Blackberries.
Blackberries.
I'm gonna let you take it over, bro.
But but they'll also get upset with you too, because if you like the natural, like like potatoes in Ireland and everything, if you don't eat all your food properly, there's also fairies out there that will also wreak havoc with you in your home, in your gardens, and stuff like that. So you got to be respectful of everything that's. I'm going to use Ireland because that's primarily where they're from and where they were distinguished. They will destroy things if you don't recognize and take care of the land there too. So it's not just so much walking on the mound or inviting the wrong fairy in. If you just mistreat the traditions and the traditional foods of Ireland, now you can give that food to them and they'll repay you, but you don't want to just like. So if you have an Irish grandmother that always says to you, eat up everything because we don't want to be wasteful because the fairies are watching. The fairies will take on that food. You can give that food to them so they'll take care of your gardens and everything. So the fairies can be mean-spirited sons of bitches, or they can be the kindest thing, and they're going to be kind if you just leave them alone. If you can recognize the mountain or the holes or the damn it, what's going on over here? If you can recognize the mounds or the holes and don't disrupt them, just plant around them. You can dig in and around them, go around them. Just leave them alone. And like Buff said, if you've got fairies or you've got problems, put in a fairy tree. Get them as a gift. They like the gifts. They'll take care of you with the gifts. We're not going to be out there like, hey, look, you did this for us, so we're going to do this for you. It's not that kind of gift giving that's going to get the resolve you want. It's just, think about it. You're sitting in your house and all of a sudden somebody comes busting into your house. Do you really want that to happen? No, that's the same way with the fairies. The jinn are the same way. That's why I kind of put the fairies and the jinn in the kind of the same category, because they just don't want to be fooked with, and everything will be bountiful for you if you just leave them alone. So it's like you said, there's a long story tradition of them. And I mean, just the term fairy means enchantment, magic, or wonder, and that's what they bring. When you sit there and look at it, what are you smirking about?
Tim's comment. Oh God, Tim on StreamYard commented. We were talking about walking around the woods or walking in your backyard and seeing like possible fairy mounds, how you have to be able to avoid them, right? So Tim said, does that mean I need to walk around my yard like I'm getting ready to step in dog shite? Yes, gingerly.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just recognize that circle. Now the holes, I could see where it'd be tough to recognize the holes.
Yes.
Or vertical or horizontal, but like the mounds, and they're easily recognizable. Not a tight, perfect circle, but a recognizable circle. Don't know. Not really. I don't know if I got somebody like knocking around or looking around at me, but I don't know.
You got fairies?
God knows what I've woken up in this house.
Multiple things.
Bailey has it well protected, so I'm okay.
Yes. See?
But
no, I just heard. I just heard a whistle, so I don't know where it's coming from.
You heard a whistle?
I heard a whistle.
Yes, I heard a whistle as well.
So, yeah, Buffy, that went right over my head on that blackberry deal.
I was laughing so hard. I was laughing.
What the hell is she talking about? Blackberries and cats pregnant.
Cats pregnant with blackberries. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes, pregnant with blackberries. Yeah. Tim and I both heard the whistle.
I did not hear that whistle. Was it why I was looking around here?
Yes. You looked to your right or to your left.
Okay.
And I heard a human whistle. Not a dog, a human whistle.
Help.
Help? No, I'm not helping you. I gotta come over to Bailey's house now and protect you.
Yeah, the dog and the cat aren't acting up, so
Yeah,
I
it
don't
sounded
know.
like a human whistle. Jay has a question. Jay said she heard the whistle too.
Oh, good.
So, okay. Backing up to the questions real quick. Jay White said, how many different fairies are there? There are hundreds of different types of fairies. You have dark fairies, light fairies, black fairies, gray fairies, woodland fairies, kitchen fairies, you name it. There's hundreds. Did you actually see? Now you got me nervous because you keep looking over there.
Well, I heard something. It's the cat jumped down from the
And
counter.
this is going to be it. Do I have to drive over there after the show?
No, we're good. No, it's an animal. The cat was walking up on the counter and just jumped to the floor. We're good.
To do how?
You're frozen. Huh?
Oh, no, you're frozen. You're frozen. What did you say?
No, I said it was my daughter's cat.
The cat did what?
Jumped off the counter. I didn't see it up on the counter and jumped down to the floor. And I thought, what just landed on the floor? And it's like, oh, it's a cat. Little bugger. What are you doing, Fiji?
You know, that's, yeah. So, everybody heard the whistle but you. Like,
Yeah.
Jay heard the whistle, Rachel heard the whistle, Dave heard the whistle.
Maybe
all
it was
heard the whistle but you.
Maybe it was a Class A EVP for you guys and a C for me.
It may have been, but there are hundreds of different kinds of fairies, from the very docile, the very minor, to the ones that are heavy hitters. I want to classify them as like we classify demons. Like you go from in the alphabet from the A to the Z. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think there are fairies that are like that between A to Z, and the higher the alphabet you go up, the worse they get.
Right.
Let's see. Rachel said something about getting baubles. Hold on. Get some baubles. Desiree wants to know, how does she know if she has fairies in her garden? Just like Jim said, look for the fairy rings. Look for the fairy mounds.
And you want to look for like little gaps in between, say, your stones, or you have a corner of your garden, you see like this little kind of like weird little opening. It could be the size of a quarter, it could be the size of a penny. It can be circular, it could be strange, doesn't have to be a perfect circle or anything like that. And if you see it, just leave it. You look around, you can pretty much tell when you see like a hole in your garden or something. It's just one of those things, like we're all guilty of. I mean, I've done it. You see a hole and you're like, I wonder, is that a snake hole? And you put a stick in there. Well, you don't want to do that anymore. Just leave it be. But just kind of looking where 2 stones come together or 3 stones come together in your garden. On the edge of the garden, you might be up against the wall. If you've got any kind of box piece in your garden that kind of keep some plants separate or something like that. So yeah, they can be they could be screaming out at you, or they could just be a tiny little non-significant hole that you look at. It's like, and you get a sense of, because if you Google, you'll see them and you can get a sense for them when you're looking in your garden. Like they kind of look deep, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
They don't look like your garden variety, just like a little divot sitting in your garden. It looks like a hole, and it looks like it has some depth to it. So you just kind of leave them alone.
Mm-hmm. I would even venture to say that sometimes if you're quick enough, you can actually see them out of the corner of your eye. They can be portrayed as like little flashes of light, little glitters, things that look like shimmers that
Right.
there would be nothing to shimmer to or make something shimmer out of the corner of your eye. Um, you may be in your garden and you see something that looks absolutely, you thought you saw something fly by that could have been a bug, but when you get closer inspection, it's actually got arms and legs, so to speak, a little
Right.
bit, with human features. Um, those are ways to be able to tell that you have fairies in your garden or fairies on your property. Like Rachel said, I agree with Rachel. Go get baubles, things that glitter, things that are tiny, bells, things that are shiny. They're the ones that are attracted to very shiny objects like little trinkets and stuff. You can even go to the dollar store. Those candy rings that we used to have as kids. If you're a Gen X or you're aware of the candy necklaces that we used to be biting off of everybody, here, let me have a piece of your necklace,
Yeah, right.
Well,
yeah, that hanging around your neck.
robbing off again in the playground. We didn't care. Germs, what germs? We were invincible. We were like cockroaches back then. But put those on your fairy tree and make sure that you plant your fairy tree the opposite side of the yard so that they're away from your actual garden or whatever, vegetable or fruit garden you have or flower garden. We're not saying that you can't pay homage to the fairies. Just do not accept gifts. Don't accept gifts. Don't invite them into your home. And just leave them offerings. Let's just preface this by saying, but not all of them are all evil and all bad little shits. That there are some that are actually, if you leave them trinkets like candy, the little fairy trees and all that good stuff and little sweets and drink and whatever, that they will repay you by like letting your garden grow and making an amazing garden out there.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't ever freaking invite them to the house.
No, they're not things you want in the house.
She says, I'm sorry, mine must be messing with everyone. In fact, Gabby learned at a very early age when I lived in my old house before I moved in here. And when I started out the podcast, I would do the podcast from my kitchen. And we would be sitting in the living room watching TV, and we would hear my cabinets open and close.
Oh.
Or we'd hear them creak open. There were two overhead cabinets that would creak at the slightest movement. And they would creak. And Gabby got into the habit of saying damn kitchen fairies because I would look at my kitchen and go, God damn kitchen fairies, knock it the hell off. Knock it off. So she would, and the cabinet would close. The cabinet would close. So anytime she has movement in the house that she lives in with her partner and her two best friends, you can hear her sometimes say, damn kitchen fairies. She got it from me saying damn kitchen fairies. Yeah. How do you know the gift wasn't left by a crow or some other animal? I would not accept it either way. If you know that you have fairies, if you have fairy mounds, Teresa, in your yard, or you have fairy rings in your yard, fairy holes, I would not accept any gift that was left, whether it was by a crow or not, because you don't know. You don't know. Right. Unless you saw a crow, unless you have like a Ring doorbell camera, you have like surveillance cameras and you can see them fly down and leave stuff. I wouldn't accept any gift at all, regardless. And unless you physically saw them do it. Mm-hmm. like on a surveillance camera.
And chances are you're not going to see them make the delivery. So it's just like you said, just better off just leave it be, leave it lie.
Oh my goodness. We have been talking for an hour and 47 minutes on fairy holes and all kinds of other nonsense.
Ghost versus ghost.
And can you add, bro, to our
What's that?
fairy hole? Do you have things to add to our fairy holes?
I picked up I got a little bit of a goblet here. It's a little long, but I can give that out if you'd like.
No, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted more. You wanted more time before our goblet of knowledge. Yeah.
So you got folk tales associated with fairy forts, which are also the fairy mounds, typically relate to a curse or retribution enacted upon those who disturbed or destroyed one of the structures. For example, one story collected in 1907 tells of a man who had engaged workers to level earthwork fairy forts at County Clare. He fell dead, but his wife was a wise woman, which meant she was magical, resurrected him unharmed. Other folktales relate to taking the farm animals or people, typically women or children, by the reputed riches of fairy forts. In 1966, and here's that guy, Tim Hayes, buried himself for 101 hours in a fairy fort to hear earth sounds that proved that there were no fairies in his forts. He reiterated the exploit several times, once for over 239 hours. So I said that guy, Tim Hayes, earlier, he's saying he didn't hear anything. So he's not confirming fairies. In 2011, a financial ruin of Sean Finn, formerly the richest person in Ireland, was blamed on his moving of a fairy fort. Also, some believed about the financial downfall of John DeLorean. In 2007, Danny Healy Ray suggested that a project that it suggested that the remains of a bad condition despite renovations. What? I did something wrong there. Was built on a local network of ferries, while the road department talked about a deeper underlying subsoil geotechnical problem. The same issue arose upon him again in 2017. So he went broke again, messing with the ferries. And then now I tried to find a more updated account for this, but in 1991, there was between 30 and 40,000 identifiable fairy forts in Ireland, most dating back as far as 600 BC.
Holy shiznits!
Yeah, so there's at least, you're talking 20 years ago, there's at least 30 to 40,000 identifiable fairy mounds in Ireland.
Holy cow! That's like almost all Ireland is just one gigantic fairy mound. People,
it's steeped on top of each other.
Listen, if you're going to visit Ireland, you must learn to levitate prior to, embarking on your trip, because you're going to need it. Because the whole of Ireland is just one gigantic fairy mound and fairy hole.
Teddy's got his back to England.
I can't with you. Oh God. People are talking about, don't forget about Amazon. I don't think I'm going to go and count fairy mounds in Ireland. Tim said he doesn't want to go to Ireland and count fairy mounds.
I'll go. Hey, Luce, there's a trip we can do. We're going back to Ireland to count fairy mounds. We need to update that number.
Listen, if that's the case, I want you videotaping yourselves going, 1.
So would it be appropriate? Would it be appropriate to say 1 potato, 2 potato?
Yeah, I want to see that. If you have a shot after each one you count. The 1, 2, 3. While you're drinking.
Another Guinness, please.
Got more. That reminds me of like the whole Daffy Duck Yikes in a Way.
Right?
Remember seeing that Daffy Duck Yikes in a Way? Where he's playing Robin Hood and he keeps slapping himself against a tree, so he cuts down. Yikes in a way. Right. Yikes in a way. Like,
Daffy. Jeez.
like, yeah.
Oh God.
Scottish people are no different. How do you think we came up with golf? And one drunk guy walking around going, yeah, it'd be great to watch somebody take a stick and a rock and shove it in a gopher hole.
Right.
I mean, how do you think they came up with 18 holes of golf? This is actually true. This is a fact. This is a proven fact, people. Absolutely true. There are 18 holes of golf because there are 18 shots in a legal sized bottle of Scottish whiskey.
No shit.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Then they just kept digging holes until the bottle went dry, and they're like, okay, good enough. I think this is it. Let's go back to the bar. Okay.
And just so you don't miss your shot, when this little screw up over here, we'll call this a mulligan. You can do it again.
Yes, you can do it again. And just for fun, let's put sand and water, just in case you're not having enough fun. Yeah. And grow trees. Maybe there are fairies in those trees.
Right?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Making you lose your balls. That didn't sound so good, but I'm talking about golf. I'm not talking about anything else but golf. See, this is what he does, people. This is what he does. He coerces, and then he wants to turn it around and make it look like I'm a bad person. I was talking about golf. Golf, people.
Me? Not me.
All right. Jesus. That was an awesome goblet of knowledge, bro.
Thank you, dear.
I would love to hear your email address in case people have topics they want to talk about.
So I am Spirit Searcher 649, Spirit Searcher 649 at gmail.com. Good topic with the ghost on ghost and the fairies. So I think we're getting back into the meats of finding some more topics, but like I said, always looking to be broken. So populate that mailbox at Spirit Searcher 649 at gmail.com.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Oh boy. And we're just like Arby's. We've got all the meats. We're getting into all the meats.
For sandwiches.
For sandwiches.
What do you got?
Mine is ghostwhisperer318 at gmail.com. That's ghostwhisperer318 at gmail.com. Crickets, people. Crickets. Crickets. All right. We need topics. We would love to have topics. And don't forget, next Monday, I will be back with Jen on Witches Winging It.
Winging it. I love it. At 7:00 right here.
Because that's what we do. We're witches, and we just sit and we just wing shit. Because that's what we do.
Hey, what the hell? Just wing it.
Yep, just wing it. You got anything else, bro?
That's it. Everybody have a good week ahead of yourself. Stay safe. Stay away from the fairies. Don't piss them off. And you shall have abundance.
Abundance. Just don't piss off any fairies. Please, for the love of Christ, don't have anybody call me at 3:00 in the morning. I got fairies in my damn house. Desiree! Please don't.
And we don't want Tim calling you say he's got blackberries.
Please, blackberries. I might go and eat some ice cream now.
Oh,
with some blackberries or black fairies.
Right?
I don't know.
Exactly. Go.
Exactly. All right, all. This was a great topic.
Yes.
Amazeballs. Good job, everyone. Good job, Teresa. This was a good topic, hon. And you know what? We're going to close this because we're tired and I feel like I'm losing my voice. And I want vodka after talking about all this fairies, matrix, fairy holes, can ghosts haunt ghosts, and all kinds of other things. So I'm going to go pour myself.
There you go.
A shot. Desiree, wait, what? I would never. Yes, you would. Anyway, on that note, as we always say, blessings to everyone. Thank you for stopping in tonight. Don't forget next Monday, same time, same bad channel. Jen and I with Witches Winging It. I just sound like Crocker from Fairly Odd Parents. Fairly Odd Parents. Oh, Oh, you can eat F's. It's an F-a-palooza. Okay. And on that note, I gotta say, love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye. Well, we're starting.